Hello everyone and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila questions Deacon about Brooke's visit, and Carter surprises Steffy with his plan to hire Ivy and Electra. Ivy wants to set her disagreements with Steffy aside. Sheila reassures Deacon, and Hope and Brooke welcome Will to the firm today on the Bold and the Beautiful. Hope flashes to Carter while defending her position during the meeting in Forrester's design office, grinning. When Brooke walks in the doorway, he asks her why she's grinning in the workplace. Hope is merely attempting to imagine what might be. They discuss how she feels under pressure regarding her line. According to Brooke, she went to inform Deacon that she was in danger, and that Carter was standing up for her. What an amazing man he is. Carter asks Steffy in the main office why hope for the future isn't on the agenda for today. She still hasn't decided what she wants to do with it. You know how I feel about it, says Carter with a grimace. That's not completely clear to Steffy. What is the reason behind your intense advocacy for hope for the future? According to Carter, it attracts younger customers, which will benefit couture in the future. Steffy says she will have to terminate the line if it continues to perform poorly. We talked about this, Carter says to her. Now is not the time, he insists. Carter has faith in Steffy's ability to grow this business. When Quinn left, the jewelry line was discussed. They don't have to lose that business, Carter assures Steffy. He went ahead and scheduled a meeting. Keep your mind open. Ivy enters as he opens the door. Hey Steffy. Ivy, Steffy gops. Steffy informs Carter that they have no business with Ivy because he sprung her on her. Carter contacted Ivy, who claims to be a Forrester herself. Steffy apologizes to Ivy for her father. John was a wonderful man. She simply doesn't understand what's happening and is puzzled. According to Carter, Ivy continues to create jewelry with great success. Her return would be a blessing for the business and a full circle moment. Ivy claims that they came directly to her and haven't yet spoken to Eric. Carter claims that he planned to build the company because she had a large online following. Ivy merely needs a chance. She doesn't need an office. And our resources, Steffy says. Carter pulls a face. Ivy claims that Forrester is the first business she has spoken to, and that it makes her feel at home. She and Carter both believe that her work would be valuable. He asks Steffy if they may talk about it and nods. Sheila informs Deacon at Il Giardino that she has no idea what he put in the dish today, but the chef is barely able to meet the demand. It's not just the recipes that are irresistible around here, Deacon jokes. Are you denying it? He'd better not share his recipe with anybody else, Sheila advises. She is aware that Brooke visited yesterday. According to Deacon, she merely wished to discuss their daughter. Hope is simply going through a difficult time, Sheila informs Deacon. They discuss Hope kissing Finn and turning against Steffy, who has been attempting to end the call for some time. Sheila notes that Hope is not alone in this and believes Ridge will step in. Deacon assumes something must be wrong if Brooke is approaching him. Brooke will do everything she can to support Hope, Sheila promises him. Carter Walton has also been supporting her, Deacon discloses. Brooke and Hope discuss Carter being in her corner in the design office. According to Brooke, he respects her. Hope doesn't want to make him the target of Steffy's ire. She is reassured by Brooke. Ridge's best friend and the company's COO Carter is always there for her. She has faith that he will support her. Sheila and Deacon discuss Hope versus Steffy at Forrester at Il Giardino. No workplace is all roses and hearts, Sheila notes. Deacon believes his child should succeed. He's like her dad, Sheila says, and he won't allow anything stop her. Your daughter will be all right. After giving him a kiss, she leaves to wait tables. Deacon grinned. Hope wonders whether Steffy saw the amazing video package that Liam made about her and her line, and Brooke tells her so in the design office. She should concentrate on her team, Brooke advises. Brooke and Hope exclaim that it's wonderful to have Will around as he arrives with the delivery. Having family close by is good, according to Hope. Any assistance from Logan would be greatly appreciated. Steffy informs Carter in the main office that she is upset that he did not visit her before scheduling a meeting with a family member. He is aware of his long-standing problems with Ivy. According to Carter, these are personal matters. This is business. Steffy wonders if she should collaborate with someone she doesn't trust. Their differences won't be an issue for Ivy. According to Carter, they must manage Forrester like a company. Ivy can carry on Quinn's work. Ivy can begin tomorrow, but she must inform them that she has a helper with her, and that she is also a Forrester. Her niece enters once she opens the door. Gawping, Steffy exclaims, "Electra? He's our COO for now," she says, giving her a hug before introducing her to Carter. Steffy tells Electra how gorgeous she is. Electra hopes her presence is acceptable. She should wait in reception, Aunt Ivy said. Ivy pitches. She genuinely believes that working together, they may do incredible things. Will asks Hope in the design office why she requires Logan's help. That can of worms won't be opened by Hope. Will is curious. According to Hope, there are always two sides to a story. Will makes a hypothesis about the Forresters and Logans. Just be glad you're not a Spencer, he jokes. Hope only wants him to have fun there. Is Bill aware? Asks Brooke. He understood when he told him about all the attractive women, but Will broke it to him the other day. They chuckle. One of them will be ecstatic to encounter a hottie like him. Hope is certain. Steffy feels like she's getting steamrolled at the main office right now. Ivy seems to want her to assign her a squad. She acknowledges Ivy's skill and expresses regret for her father. Electra believes her grandfather would be thrilled to see them all cooperating. They explain that Electra was not raised in Australia since her family moved about a lot, but she always remained close to Aunt Ivy. She is the daughter of John's son, also named John, Ivy's brother. She had always admired Steffy, and once wrote a paper about her. Steffy finds that endearing. Writing a report about her grandmother is something she recalls doing. She is overjoyed to see her, and it means a lot. Ivy is aware that they have had disagreements in the past, but they have since changed and developed. If they could collaborate, Ivy could benefit the business. Carter asserts that they can grow the company beyond their wildest expectations. But she must begin to think more broadly. She needs to accept Ivy and the jewelry line instead of threatening to cut Hope for the future. Ahead of an overdue Steffy/Hope tipping point, Lawrence St. Victor teases the move that Carter fans may find very jarring. Ever since confessing that he imagines his colleague in lingerie, unlucky in love bold and beautiful heartthrob Carter has had one singular hope for the future, a relationship with Hope herself. But in his efforts to safeguard her struggling fashion line, he is anything but endearing himself to Forrester Creations co-CEO, Steffy. Is he thinking with his head or his heart? It's a mix of both, Lawrence St. Victor tells Soaps.com. A healthy mix. First of all, the Forresters are like family to him, so business is always personal for him. But now, with his feelings for Hope, he's seeing how she's been sort of devalued by Steffy, and how that's bleeding into hope for the future. It's understandable that Steffy would be miffed that her sometime stepsister kissed her husband. But to sabotage the line, that's just bad business. Carter said something that I thought was really brilliant, St. Victor recalls. If the line is suffering because its head designer Thomas just kinda bailed on it, then instead of pulling back resources, it needs more support, not just more time. If we're keeping it, we should throw everything at it. Needless to say, Steffy's perspective is, to put it mildly, different. She was none too pleased when Carter surprised her on October 22nd with his pitch to have her cousin Ivy design jewelry for HFTF. And the conflict in the executive suite is only going to escalate in the Wednesday, October 23rd, episode when Carter stands his ground with Steffy. Career suicide? I don't think so, not at this point, his portrayer says. Carter feels like he's part of the family, and sometimes family doesn't get along. I don't think he thinks his career is anywhere near in jeopardy. Maybe he should, he adds with a chuckle. The buck stops where? Not only is Carter confident that Steffy's co-CEO, his bestie Ridge, will have his back, but there is also no reason that the COO should have to worry about pushing back with Steffy. He is in an important enough position at Forrester that he should be able to question his CEOs and have a discussion, St. Victor argues. In fact, that's what rubs him the wrong way about Steffy. She might be feeling disrespected by Carter, but he's feeling disrespected by her. He's like, I'm your COO. Why aren't you hearing me? You can say no, but let's really talk about this first. She's making him feel like just some employee, he continues. And that's where some of their personal clashes start to happen. And from there escalate. This week, just the way Steffy's dynamic has been with Hope comes to a tipping point, the actor teases, noting that at times he's felt as if he were watching Jacqueline McInnes would transform before his eyes into Stephanie Jr. Steffy may be shocked to hear the word no come from Carter's lips, but St. Victor sees it as being totally in character. The exec has just so rarely been called upon to use it, that it can be very jarring to see him not back down, to see him push something. But I do think he has a bit of a healthy ego. If you were to ask him, are you the most creative person at Forrester? He'd say no, he admits. But if you were to ask him, are you the smartest guy in the room? He'd say, yeah, I am. He doesn't lead with that. But at the end of the day, he knows that what he wants to do is most likely the right thing. Steffy reacts to the relationship between Hope and Carter. According to spoilers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan is watching Hope Logan. But her caution was directed at John Finn Finnegan, not Carter Walton. If Steffy interferes in Hope and Carter's private life, nobody is likely to stand by her. They are single, and just beginning a relationship, as the public was permitted to observe. She made a mistake by pursuing Finn. After he stopped Hope, Steffy threatened to end Hope for the future if she continued to act in the same manner. But the battle lines are redrawn with Carter as an ally. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Carter Walton Indiana Search of Love. Carter shouldn't be unmarried. He tried several times to find love, but either failed or decided not to settle. He seemed to be in love with Quinn Fuller, Rena Sofer. However, Sofer's character was being written out of the program by the writing team, which included St. Victor in that plot. It was intended to be a brief novella with an open ending, but the brief but powerful connection with Quinn should have resulted in much more drama. Steffy Forrester Finnegan's power is limited, according to B&B spoilers. When Steffy finds out about Hope and Carter's new relationship, she is unable to terminate HFTF. Despite Steffy's personal dislike for Hope, everyone's greater business sense should prevail. The power dynamic between Wood's character and her father was established. She co-manages the daily activities at Forrester with Ridge Forrester, Torsten K. To date, they have respected Carter's opinions, and Ridge views Carter as his best friend. Steffy also has faith in him, but Steffy's opinion will shift when the connection to Hope is uncovered. Carter's suggestion to have Hope serve as a lead model for her collection, similar to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, for Brooke's bedroom, will undoubtedly irritate him and cause friction within Forrester Creations. I hope Logan wins in a different way. Hope was wrong to desire to abduct her spouse in order to make a point to Steffy. That attempt was unsuccessful since Finn is a good man who loves his wife and the family they have built. If Steffy attempts to undermine Hope's reputation or threaten her, she won't have a soapy leg to stand on. It's likely to backfire and affect Steffy's standing. The Forrester Creations Brain Trust will view Steffy differently, but Wood's character will retain her title. Regardless of Steffy's reaction, Hope will understand that this is a means for her to pursue happiness and regain her business reputation with Carter's assistance. Life and Death. Bold and Beautiful just reminded us why Ivy had better watch her back. Ivy's finally back in Los Angeles on The Bold and the Beautiful, and if history is any indication, she's not going to waste much time before setting her sights on Liam. Once upon a time, that would have had us seriously concerned about her safety, but these days, we're hopeful that things could turn out better. Then again, Steffy's reaction to Carter springing her cousin on her wasn't exactly loving and welcoming. Steffy told her COO that she doesn't trust her cousin, and that they've got some long-standing issues. You can catch up on what happened with today's Bold and Beautiful recap here. And that might just be the understatement of the year. Because for those thinking that this is just a matter of Steffy and Ivy fighting over Liam, we're here to remind you that it goes much deeper than that. Yes, the cousins' rivalry did start when Ivy was dating Liam, after his relationship with Hope fell apart about a decade ago. Steffy, realizing her own feelings were resurfacing for Liam, tried briefly to seduce him, only for Ivy to warn her cuz to back the hell off. Things escalated when Ivy convinced Liam to marry her in order to avoid deportation, just as his own feelings for Steffy were bubbling back up. It was a marriage in name only. So when Ivy learned she didn't actually need it to stay in the country, she took the high road and set her hubby free, hoping that they'd work things out. They didn't. In fact, Liam dumped her for Steffy at just about the worst moment he could have. Around the same time, Ivy had befriended Thorne's troubled daughter Allie, who was growing increasingly erratic. After finding some particularly worrying signs, including how much she hated Steffy, Ivy ran off in search of her friend, finding Allie on the side of the road in a confrontation with Ridge's daughter. Allie had attacked Steffy, but Ivy arrived just in time to record what looked like her cousin bludgeoning the redhead to death with a tire iron. Allie's death was, as Steffy claimed, an accident, but Ivy was convinced her friend/cousin was murdered. And that's where Liam dumping her comes in, because he waited to leave Ivy for Steffy at Ollie's funeral. That was enough to push Ivy over the edge, blackmailing Steffy with the incriminating video into becoming the new face of Forrester. Eventually, though, Ivy deleted the video and acknowledged that Allie wasn't murdered. But that calm didn't last long, as Steffy next caught her nemesis kissing Thomas while dating Wyatt. The resulting tattling led to another feud and a string of fights that sent Ivy careening into a live electrical panel, and later, falling and hitting her head. Oh, and then she got a concussion after falling down a flight of stairs during another tiff with Steffy. We guess there are only so many hits you can take before raising the white flag. So it wasn't too much of a surprise when the accident-prone Aussie called a truce with Steffy. She even went so far as to support their eventual reunion and play tour guide when they married in Australia. But that doesn't mean the cousins are on great terms, or even like each other all that much. The last time Ivy stopped by for a quick visit to put the moves on Liam, Steffy couldn't keep her catty comments to herself. Still, let's hope that if they do end up fighting over Liam again, this time, it won't result in a string of near-death experiences. And we certainly don't want Ivy dying in a fight with Steffy like Allie did, either. Ivy tattles, Electra debuts Carter vs. Steffy, Eric interferes. 2 weeks of twists and turns. Prepare for drama, romance, betrayal, and power plays as the bold and the beautiful heats up from October 21st to November 1st, 2024. If you thought the Forrester family had faced enough turmoil, get ready for even more shocking twists that will leave you glued to your screens. Here's a comprehensive look into the coming weeks, filled with love triangles, family feuds, and unexpected alliances that will shake Forrester Creations to its core. This is your must-read guide for everything that's set to unfold in the next 2 weeks. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. Ivy Forrester tattles, a family war brewing. The week of October 21st begins with the return of Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, to Los Angeles. After being out of the Forrester spotlight for quite some time, Ivy is back in town with an ambitious plan. But this isn't just a casual visit. She's here to make waves at Forrester Creations. Ivy's arrival doesn't come alone. She brings with her the fresh face of the family, her niece Electra Forrester Linnea Grace, who's bound to make a splash. Ivy and Electra have teamed up to create a new jewelry line that they believe would be perfect for Forrester Creations. With high hopes, they pitched their line to Carter Walton Lawrence St. Victor, expecting him to introduce the idea to Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. However, things don't go as smoothly as Ivy had planned. Steffy is laser-focused on hope for the future, especially after the latest success, and she doesn't seem interested in adding anything new to the Forrester Creations portfolio right now. Feeling slighted, Ivy suspects that Steffy's decision is more personal than professional. Could Steffy be allowing her personal issues to cloud her judgment? Ivy thinks so, and she's not about to let this go without a fight. She turns to the family patriarch, Eric Forrester, John McCook, hoping to win him over and potentially reverse Steffy's decision. Ivy tattles to Eric, alleging that Steffy is making her decisions based on personal vendettas, specifically, lingering tension from past conflicts with Ivy and Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Ivy's words could stir up a serious family conflict, especially if Eric believes her and gets involved. Eric's interference could set off a war within Forrester Creations, and the fallout could affect everyone involved. Will Eric take Ivy's side and pressure Steffy to give her cousin a chance? And if so, will Steffy retaliate, determined to prove she's in control of Forrester Creations? Electra Forrester debuts, sparks fly with Will Spencer. One of the most exciting new faces this week is Electra Forrester. And she's not just here to stand in Ivy's shadow. Electra is young, confident, and ready to make a name for herself in the family business. But before she can even settle into the Forrester Creations offices, she literally bumps into Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, the son of Bill Spencer, Don Diamant. This chance encounter between Will and Electra sparks immediate chemistry, and it's clear that the two young heirs might just be the next big romance in Los Angeles. Electra's fiery spirit is matched by Will's charm, and the two quickly form a bond. However, with Forrester and Spencer family histories being as complicated as they are, could their budding relationship face challenges from the very beginning? As their flirtation heats up, expect some opposition, perhaps from Bill Spencer himself. Bill is always protective of his children, and he might not take too kindly to Will getting involved with the Forrester, especially given his own tumultuous history with the family. But for now, Electra and Will are enjoying the excitement of something new, and their romance could bring a fresh dynamic to the show. Fans will be eager to see if this relationship will survive the storm that's undoubtedly brewing on the horizon. Carter Walton versus Steffy Forrester, the battle for hope for the future. The friction between Steffy and Carter Walton intensifies during the week of October 21st. Tensions have been simmering beneath the surface, but now, things are about to explode. Carter's recent push to pour resources into hope for the future has raised eyebrows, particularly from Steffy, who's been wondering why Carter has become so invested in the project. Could it be that Carter's motivations are more personal than professional? That's exactly what Steffy is beginning to suspect. Meanwhile, Hope Logan has noticed Carter's growing passion for her fashion line, and it's clear that there's more going on than just business. Carter makes a heartfelt confession to Hope, and it's something that could push Hope from hesitance to full-blown infatuation. But with Finn Tanner Novlin still in the picture, and Hope's recent history of romantic entanglements, this love triangle or love square is about to get even messier. Will Hope give in to her feelings for Carter, or will she try to keep things professional? And then there's Steffy, who's not going to stand by and let anyone, least of all Carter, jeopardize Forrester Creations. As Steffy begins to suspect Carter's true intentions, a fierce showdown between the two is inevitable. With emotions running high, their professional disagreement could quickly turn personal. Eric Forrester's interference, chaos or calm. As Ivy's accusations against Steffy grow louder, Eric is left in a difficult position. On the one hand, he trusts his granddaughter Steffy to lead the company with vision and professionalism. On the other hand, Ivy's claims that Steffy is letting personal grudges influence her decisions can't be ignored. Eric's interference could bring both relief and chaos. If he sides with Ivy, Steffy could feel undermined and lash out. If he stands by Steffy, it could alienate Ivy, leading to further divisions within the family. Eric has always been the heart and soul of Forrester Creations, but will his attempts to mediate only make things worse? The tension between Steffy and Ivy has deep roots, going all the way back to past rivalries over love and family loyalty. With both women standing firm in their positions, the Forrester family could be facing yet another internal battle. Will Eric be able to keep the peace, or will his involvement only fuel the fire? And what will this mean for the future of Forrester Creations, especially with Ivy and Electra's jewelry line now hanging in the balance? The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Week of October 28, 2024. Looking ahead to the week of October 28th, the drama only intensifies. Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, becomes increasingly worried about Hope's daydreaming and insists on finding out what, or who, has captured her daughter's attention. Hope may be forced to admit her growing feelings for Carter, or she might try to deflect and keep her secret hidden. Meanwhile, Brooke and Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, reignite their long-standing feud over Rich Forrester, Torsten K., especially with Halloween approaching. Could their rivalry take a dark turn, or will they finally come to an understanding? As Will and Electra grow closer, outside forces may try to tear them apart. And of course, Halloween in Los Angeles wouldn't be complete without a few tricks from Sheila Carter Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown. What does Sheila have planned? And will her schemes impact the Forrester-Spencer drama in unexpected ways? One thing is certain. The next 2 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful will be filled with unforgettable moments, shocking revelations, and emotional fireworks. Stay tuned as love, loyalty, and power collide, setting the stage for even more thrilling twists to come. Ivy Forrester returns. And it's not just a quick visit. One of the major highlights for the week of October 21, 2024, is the return of Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer. Longtime fans will recall that Ivy made a brief appearance earlier this year. That appearance may have been short, but it left a lasting impression, especially on Liam Spencer's Scott Clifton. The last time Ivy was in Los Angeles, sparks flew between her and Liam, reigniting a romance that had once burned brightly. The two even shared a passionate kiss, a moment that many fans hoped would lead to something more. But before anything could fully develop, Ivy was forced to leave, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, wasted no time in ensuring Ivy stayed far away from her ex. However, this week, Ivy's return is no fleeting visit. In fact, she's back with a purpose. In a sneak peek, viewers see Ivy being escorted by none other than Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, into Steffy's office. When Steffy sees Ivy, she's blindsided, and who can blame her? Their history is messy, and it's clear the tension between these two women will quickly resurface. Ivy might be all smiles, but Steffy's wary gaze tells us she's not about to let her guard down. Could Ivy's return signal the start of a new rivalry? After all, Ivy and Steffy have been at odds for years, mostly due to their shared romantic interest in Liam. With Ivy back in town, will old flames reignite? And how will this shake things up for Steffy, who has finally settled into her life with Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin? 2. Electra Forrester makes her debut. The next generation of drama. If Ivy's return wasn't enough to stir the pot, she's also bringing a new character into the mix. Her niece, Electra Forrester. Though Electra may be new to Los Angeles, it's clear she's ready to make a splash. Electra, the daughter of one of Ivy's siblings, a connection that will surely be explored in upcoming episodes, is described as strong-willed and determined. She knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. She arrives in LA ready to dive into the glamorous, cutthroat world of the Forresters and their fashion empire. But what else could she be after? In true soap opera fashion, Electra's arrival is set to shake things up for everyone, especially the younger generation of characters. Will Spencer, the son of Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, will cross paths with her, and the chemistry between these two will be undeniable. The question is, will it lead to something more? Will the two hit it off and start a new romance? Or will there be complications that drive them apart? Electra is bound to get swept into the Forresters' world of love, betrayal, and power plays. But Ivy will be there to help her navigate the treacherous waters of family loyalty and ambition. Will Electra stay out of trouble? Or will she end up in the crosshairs of the legendary Forrester feuds? 3. Liam Spencer won't give up. Hope Logan's love triangle takes a turn. The ever-complicated Liam Spencer. If there's one thing you can count on in The Bold and the Beautiful, it's that Liam will never give up on Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Despite everything they've been through, Liam is still pining for Hope, and he's about to make his feelings known in a big way. But Hope has moved on. At least she's trying to. Over the past few weeks, fans have seen Hope and Carter Walton grow closer. What started as a few stolen kisses has quickly turned into something more serious. Carter and Hope's chemistry has been undeniable, and their passion has reached a boiling point. In the upcoming episodes, viewers will watch as these two finally give in to temptation. Whether they end up fully clothed again by Monday's episode, or not is the big question. For Hope, this moment of passion with Carter is a sign of her desire to break free from Liam's constant back and forth. She's been hurt too many times, and Carter represents a fresh start. Someone stable, reliable, and ready to love her without hesitation. But can she truly move on from Liam? After all, their history is deep, and they share a child together. Liam, on the other hand, is not about to let go of Hope without a fight. In a conversation with Bill Spencer and his son Will, Liam makes it clear that he's determined to win Hope back. He's willing to go to great lengths to prove to her that they belong together. With Ivy back in town and Carter making his move, Liam's efforts to reunite with Hope could get even more complicated. Will Liam succeed in breaking up Hope and Carter before their relationship truly begins? Or will he lose her forever? What does this mean for the future of these characters? This week's spoilers are packed with potential twists and turns that will undoubtedly have long-term consequences for all involved. Ivy's return could reignite old flames. Electra's debut promises fresh drama. And the love triangle between Liam, Hope, and Carter is just getting started. But what's really exciting is the unpredictability. Will Steffy and Ivy become bitter rivals again? Could Electra and Will be the next power couple? And will Hope finally choose between her past with Liam and her future with Carter? There's no shortage of speculation, and fans will be glued to their screens as these stories unfold. Final thoughts. Don't miss a moment. The week of October 21st, 2024 is shaping up to be one of the most explosive weeks in recent The Bold and the Beautiful history. With Ivy Forrester's return, the debut of Electra, and the deepening love triangle between Liam, Hope, and Carter, the drama is at an all-time high. For those of you who have been following these characters for years, the stakes couldn't be higher. Every interaction, every conversation, and every glance could change the course of these relationships forever. So grab your popcorn, set your DVRs, and make sure you don't miss a single second of this must-see week on The Bold and the Beautiful. Carter Walton, played by Lawrence St. Victor, may have just crossed a line that he can't uncross. By inviting Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, and Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, to pitch a new jewelry line, Carter has opened Pandora's box. His growing infatuation with Hope Logan, Annika Noel, is driving him to make decisions that may not only hurt his professional standing, but cause major fallout with Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and Rich Forrester, Torsten K. Is Carter's determination to save Hope and her struggling fashion line blinding him to the repercussions of his actions? And just how far is Steffy willing to go to protect Forrester Creations from an internal mutiny? In this explosive saga, we'll uncover how one man's ambitions, two women's jealousy, and an iconic fashion house teetering on the edge of disaster will collide, sending shockwaves through the world of The Bold and the Beautiful. Section 1. Carter's infatuation with Hope clouds his judgment. It's no secret that Carter Walton has been captivated by Hope Logan. What started as a casual professional relationship has evolved into a complex dynamic fueled by Carter's admiration, and possibly something deeper for Hope. As Forrester Creations COO, Carter usually keeps a cool head and sticks to the rules, but lately, his focus has been singular, saving Hope for the future. The problem? Hope's line hasn't been financially viable for some time. Sales are down, designs aren't resonating with the target audience, and the company is losing money. Still, Carter seems determined to help Hope at any cost. Is this about loyalty to Forrester Creations, or has his personal attachment to Hope clouded his business judgment? By extending an invite to Ivy and Electra to pitch a new jewelry line, Carter is stepping far outside his usual territory. Jewelry design was once the realm of the infamous Quinn Fuller, ex-Rena Sofer, and her absence left a vacuum that could be exploited, but only with the right strategy. Inviting Eric Forrester's nieces without consulting Steffy first? That's a bold move, perhaps too bold. Section 2. Steffy Forrester's clash with Carter. Steffy Forrester has always been fiercely protective of Forrester Creations. As co-CEO, she's fought tooth and nail to keep the company at the top of the fashion industry. However, her patience with Carter's recent decisions is wearing thin, and this latest stunt might be the last straw. Steffy's relationship with Ivy Forrester is strained at best. Ivy's past attempts to rekindle her romance with Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, left a bitter taste, especially during a time when Steffy and Liam were navigating their own rocky relationship. Steffy has made it clear that Ivy isn't welcome anywhere near her family or her business, yet Carter disregarded that and invited Ivy back without so much as a heads-up. The introduction of Electra Forrester, a new character with her own ambitions, only adds fuel to the fire. Steffy isn't just concerned about Ivy's presence. She's furious that Carter didn't consult her before making such a major decision. Does she have a right to feel betrayed? Absolutely. After all, Carter isn't the CEO. This isn't his call to make. The inevitable confrontation between Steffy and Carter is bound to be explosive. Steffy will demand answers. What is Carter trying to prove? And why is he risking Forrester Creations' stability to push a line that hasn't been profitable? Section 3. Is Carter pushing too far? Even Ridge Forrester, the patriarch of the Forrester family, and one of the most respected names in the fashion world, is starting to raise eyebrows at Carter's recent behavior. Ridge is not one to tolerate insubordination or risky moves that could jeopardize the company he helped build. So when he learns about Carter's decision to invite Ivy and Electra without consulting the higher-ups, Ridge will have some stern words for the COO. Could Carter be letting his feelings for Hope drive him to make reckless choices? It's possible that Carter is trying to prove something, not just to Hope, but to Ridge and Steffy as well. But in doing so, he's overstepping his bounds. There's a hierarchy at Forrester Creations, and Carter is about to learn that the hard way. The real question is, how will Ridge handle this situation? Will he step in as the voice of reason, or will he allow Steffy to take the lead and confront Carter on her own? Either way, Carter is walking a very thin line. Section 4. The complicated Forrester family dynamics. The Forrester family is no stranger to drama, especially when it comes to business decisions that intersect with personal vendettas. Steffy's animosity toward Ivy isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. Ivy and Liam shared a complicated history, and Steffy has never quite forgiven Ivy for her role in some of the past love triangles. With Ivy back in the mix, Steffy's insecurities about her own marriage to Finn, Tanner Novlin, may resurface. After all, it wasn't too long ago that she and Finn were battling trust issues. Is Steffy's resistance to Ivy's return more about protecting her marriage than about business? Could her personal feelings be clouding her judgment, as much as Carter's feelings for Hope are clouding his? On the other hand, Electra Forrester, a younger ambitious Forrester relative, adds a new dynamic. She has no baggage with the Forrester clan, and is eager to make her mark. But is she prepared to navigate the treacherous waters of family rivalries and old grudges? Section 5. The future of Forrester Creations. With tensions running high and trust within the Forrester family crumbling, the future of Forrester Creations hangs in the balance. Will Steffy and Ridge be able to rein in Carter's reckless behavior? Or is this just the beginning of a power struggle that could shake the company to its core? For Carter, this could be the move that propels him to the next level, or the mistake that ends his career. If his plan to bring in Ivy and Electra backfires, Carter could find himself out of a job, alienated from the company he's worked so hard to protect. But if he's successful, Carter might just secure a new direction for Hope for the future, and prove that his instincts were right all along. Could this be his redemption, or the final nail in the coffin? Enter Electra Forrester, a young, intriguing character played by daytime newcomer Linnea Grace, who made her debut on the October 22, 2024 episode. With deep connections to the Forrester family and a mysterious past, Electra is set to shake things up at Forrester Creations in ways no one saw coming. Linnea Grace might be familiar to some viewers for her successful modeling career, with campaigns for major brands like Old Navy and Guess under her belt. But her leap into the world of daytime drama signals a new chapter for both the actress and the character. So, who exactly is Electra Forrester? And why has her sudden arrival created waves in the bold and the beautiful universe? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the background, connections, and inevitable drama that surrounds this intriguing newcomer. Section 1. Electra Forrester's Forrester family ties. For fans of the bold and the beautiful, the Forrester name carries weight, history, and endless intrigue. As it turns out, Electra Forrester is no stranger to this prestigious family. Electra is the granddaughter of John Forrester, the brother of fashion mogul Eric Forrester, played by John McCook. John Forrester, portrayed by the late Fred Willard, was a beloved character who brought humor and heart to the show in his time. Electra's father, John Forrester Jr., had spent much of his life traveling, taking Electra along for the ride. This nomadic lifestyle is the reason why she doesn't carry her Aunt Ivy's distinct Australian accent, but the Forrester legacy is in her blood just the same. Electra's arrival in Los Angeles signals a new chapter not only for her, but also for her aunt, Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, who herself has a complicated history with the Forrester clan. With Carter Walton Lawrence St. Victor extending an invitation for Ivy to help revive the Forrester jewelry line, Ivy saw an opportunity, not just for herself, but for her niece as well. Electra is introduced as Ivy's assistant, but it's clear she has ambitions of her own. However, despite the warm greeting from some members of the family, there's an undeniable tension brewing beneath the surface. The real question is, how will this fresh-faced Forrester fit into the high-stakes world of fashion, romance, and family feuds? Section 2, A Grand Entrance, the tension between Electra and Steffy. Electra's arrival wasn't just a casual family reunion. It was strategically timed, and not everyone was pleased. While Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, was happy to see her young cousin, she couldn't help but feel blindsided by the proposal that accompanied Electra's introduction. Steffy, as the co-CEO of Forrester Creations, takes her position seriously and is fiercely protective of the company. So when Ivy and Electra showed up with a bold proposal to revive the Forrester jewelry line, an area that had once been dominated by the controversial Quinn Fuller, Steffy wasn't exactly jumping for joy. For Electra, this was more than just a business opportunity. She had idolized Steffy from a young age, even going so far as to write a school report about her grandmother, Stephanie Forrester. That admiration, however, didn't make the ambush-style proposal any easier for Steffy to digest. Was this just a ploy by Ivy and Electra to elbow their way back into Forrester Creations? Or was there something more genuine at play? As Steffy struggled to process the surprise pitch, Electra's enthusiasm and passion became apparent. She's not just a tag-along. Electra wants to make her mark on Forrester Creations. But will Steffy give her the chance? Or will she see Electra as nothing more than a pawn in Ivy's game? Section 3. Carter Walton's role in Electra's arrival. It wouldn't be the bold and the beautiful without a little bit of scheming. And in this case, Carter Walton plays a pivotal role in Electra's entry into the Forrester fold. As the COO of Forrester Creations, Carter's been walking a fine line between professional responsibility and personal interest, especially when it comes to his support for Hope Logan's fashion line. Now, Carter's taken another bold step by inviting Ivy and Electra to pitch their ideas to Steffy, completely bypassing the usual chain of command. Carter sees potential in Electra and believes that her fresh ideas, combined with Ivy's experience, could bring new life to Forrester Creations' jewelry department. However, his decision to move forward without consulting Steffy first has already caused friction. What is Carter's endgame? Is he simply trying to help the company, or does his growing personal attachment to certain individuals, like Hope, skew his professional judgment? And where does Electra fit into all of this? Is she merely a player in a larger power struggle, or does she have her own ambitions at Forrester Creations? With Carter's endorsement, Electra could rise to prominence, or find herself caught in the crossfire of Forrester family drama. Section 4. Electra's mysterious background and ambitions. One of the most intriguing aspects of Electra's character is her mysterious background. Raised outside of the usual Forrester sphere of influence, Electra and her father traveled extensively, meaning she wasn't as entrenched in the family business as her cousins. This outsider perspective gives her an edge. She's not bogged down by past family feuds, but it also makes her a bit of an enigma. What drives Electra? Is it loyalty to the Forrester name, a desire to make a name for herself in the fashion world, or something else entirely? While she comes across as eager and enthusiastic, viewers know better than to trust surface impressions. After all, this is the bold and the beautiful. Everyone has a hidden agenda. As the storyline develops, we'll likely see more of Electra's personal motivations and how her upbringing has shaped her. Will she follow in the footsteps of her ambitious family members, or will she carve out a new path for herself at Forrester Creations? One thing's for sure. Electra is more than just a pretty face, and she's here to stay. Section 5. The future of the Forrester jewelry line. With Electra and Ivy's pitch now on the table, the future of Forrester Creations' jewelry line hangs in the balance. Reviving the line could be a lucrative move for the company, especially with Ivy's expertise and Electra's fresh perspective. But there's a major obstacle: Steffy's hesitance to dive back into the jewelry business, especially after the tumultuous departure of Quinn Fuller. Electra's involvement in the project could tip the scales, but only if Steffy and Ridge are willing to take a chance on her. And with Carter's backing, the pressure is on for Steffy to make a decision. Will she trust Electra and Ivy to lead this new venture? Or will she shut it down before it even gets off the ground? If Electra succeeds, she could cement her place within the Forrester empire and become a major player in the company's future. But if the jewelry line fails, she might find herself on the outside looking in, a casualty of the Forrester family's internal battles. Section 6. Electra's potential love interests and romantic entanglements. No new character on The Bold and the Beautiful arrives without stirring up romantic drama, and Electra is no exception. While her initial storyline centers around her involvement with the jewelry line, it's only a matter of time before she catches the eye of someone in the Forrester universe. Could Electra be a new romantic rival for someone's affections? With the current love triangle involving Hope, Liam, and Thomas heating up, there's room for Electra to enter the fray and potentially create a new romantic rivalry. Alternatively, she could strike up a romance with someone unexpected, like Finn or Wyatt.